let's have a look at the ether functional group. So this is, you're going to be introduced to what's called an alkoxide, which is basically an alkyl group that has an oxygen stuck in the middle of it. All right, so an alkoxide functional group will look something like this. There'll be an oxygen that then binds to something, a CH3 or a CH2, CH3, something like that. And then this then attaches to a main chain, so a longer chain of carbons. All right, and what's circled there with the broken line, that is referred to as essentially the ether functional group. All right, so let's look at an example here. We'll make a 4-carbon chain, and we'll put this OCH3 on it. Okay, so clearly the only branch or functional group that I have to deal with is this OCH3. All right, so let's have a look at how I would treat this. So this is an ether. You can have a look. Ether is number 11 over there on your priority list. There's 1 carbon in the ether branch. Okay, so it's going to be a meth of some sort. Okay, so have a look there. An ether branch is named as if it were an alkyl branch, but rather than calling this methyl, I terminate it with oxy. So this is called methoxy. So there's a 4-carbon chain, so that's a bute. The methoxy occurs at carbon 2, so this is 2-methoxybutane. All right, let's have a look at something a little bit more complicated. All right, and it's including the ether in part of a larger molecule with a whole bunch of functional groups. All right, so I'm going to put 6 carbons in my main chain, and then here's an ether branch. I'll put a fluorine in, we'll put a hydroxyl in, let's put a benzene in, and how about a nitro? So an NO2. All right, I'm going to fill up all the hydrogens. All right, and so this is how a molecule, let's say, would look. When we'd say, okay, name this. So how would I go about doing this? I'm going to go through and I'm going to circle all of the functional groups. I'm going to figure out what they are. So here's an ether. All right, that's number 11. An alcohol, in this case, is number 6 on the list. Okay, my phenyl group. Phenyl comes in at number 8 on the priority list. All right. I've got my nitro, which comes nearly down at the bottom at number 13. And then my fluorine, which is a type of halogen, so that's at number 12. So you can see the most important or the highest priority functional group is the alcohol, which means the alcohol needs to get the lowest possible number. Okay. So I'm going to just clean this up a little bit. The ether is actually an ethoxy because it's like an ethyl branch with an oxygen. All right, so put some numbers along the chain here. Don't worry, I've got a slide at the end of this that you can see some common names of ethers. 6 carbons in the main chain, so it's going to be a hex of some sort. All right, so let's go and let's put this together. So alphabetical order. All right, 4-ethoxy. Okay. 5-fluoro, E before F. 4-nitro. Okay, N comes after E and F. P comes after N, so this is 2-phenyl. All right, and then hex. Now it's hexan because there are only single bonds between the carbons. Okay, so it's hexan -3 -all because the alcohol comes at carbon 3. Here are some common ether branches. You might want to jot these down. Just pause the video there. All right.